What's going on, guys? This is Divine coming out with an all-new series for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I've played Siege for many years and just recently started to get back into it, and I've found that a lot of people don't know where and how to defend the bomb sites. So I wanted to create a whole new series about the different locations of where you should go and how you should defend those sites. So today we're going to be focusing on borders, so let's just jump right in. Alright, so now that you've loaded into a match, it's time to decide which location that you're going to choose to defend. Now, I want to say these locations are subjective, but it is what most people are going to pick in ranked games. So, the first location that most people are going to pick are Armory Lockers and Archives. Now, the second and third site can be kind of flip-flopped back and forth, but typically it's going to be Ventilation Room and Workshop, just because it can be defended just a little bit easier. So that would make our third site Customs and Supply Room, and then followed lastly by Bathroom and Tellers. Just note that some people do like to do Bathroom and Tellers as their third site. That's personal preference. I just find it as a harder site to defend. Alright, so the first site that we're going to take a look at is Armory and Archives. Alright, so this site's pretty easy to secure. We're going to go ahead and come over to this wall where you'll use 2 reinforcements here and here. Then we will come over by B site where we're going to secure 4 more walls. So these 4 walls are right here. So you do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you can come in here and do these 2 walls as well. So this will protect from the stairways and anybody breaching in that way. Alright, so now that we have 2 reinforcements left, I usually come down this hallway and reinforce both of these walls. What this really does is actually cut off the line of sight for both hallways, so I'll bring up the map real quick and you can kind of see where it's cutting off. It can really save you if you're trying to transition from A to B, especially if somebody's roaming around in security or break room. Alright, so starting off in Ventilation Room and Workshop, we're going to come over here by B and open up these 4 walls, or at least make sure that you open up enough for a rotate hole. It really depends on how your team is actually going to open up or whether or not they're going to use it as a partial defense. Typically, attackers are going to come through this window itself and try to plant on B. But coming over to A site, we're going to come over here and open up 1, 2, 3, move over here just a little bit more, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, number 8 can be opened up, especially if you're playing lower ranks. You can leave it alone, but if you're playing higher ranks, I would recommend reinforcing it. But lower ranks, you can actually come down here and actually break a hole in this wall and have a nice little peek hole towards the window and the wall in case they try to breach in that way. Most lower ranks actually won't notice that this wall is not reinforced, so it can net you some easy kills. Now for the hatches, here's number 9, and then we'll come over straight over here to number 10. And that would be all 10 reinforcements. So I'll go upstairs here and show you where these hatches are. Now we're upstairs, and here was number 10 hatch. And then if you come over here, behind this desk over here is actually number 9. Typically, if you're going to be playing higher ranks, you're not going to actually reinforce those 2 hatches, but you're going to actually start blowing some holes into the floor like so, and have a nice view on the window itself. Or perhaps you can even blow a hole over here and have a nice view at the front door. You might want to use those 2 reinforcements to actually reinforce this wall itself. What this does is actually prevent any kind of attacker being able to pre-fire you if you're trying to hold upstairs. So that's it for this site. We're going to just jump right into the next site. Alright, so starting off in Customs, we're going to come straight over into this small room over here and reinforce number 1 and number 2. Beware with these reinforcements, they don't go all the way up. You will see this archway that actually is open for attackers to either throw grenades or for defense to actually throw C4 over. So now that we're coming over to A, we're going to come and reinforce 3 and 4. This is going to help protect from stairs and front door. As for these 3 walls themselves, well, you can break them open to have a better line of sight on A, and it makes defending it just that much easier, as well for these 2 walls too. So after that, we're going to come over here, and we can see that this hatch can get reinforced for number 5, and this one for number 6. Now that we have 4 reinforcements left, we can come straight over to this 4 wall right here, so number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I will actually show you upstairs where these hatches are. Alright, so coming in upstairs we can see where hatch number 5 was, and also hatch number 6. Now, I will tell you, if you are playing in higher ranks, you're probably not going to be reinforcing these two hatches, but instead blowing holes like this where you can see down the hallways into the front door. And instead you're going to be reinforcing this wall, which can actually block a lot of line of sight and pre-fire from this hallway. And then coming over here, you would actually reinforce this wall as well. So in case you're transitioning, it stops a lot of that pre-fire. So that's it for customs and supply room. So let's jump into the last site. Alright, so here we are in bathroom and tellers. Let me tell you guys, if you can avoid this site, please do. But if you have to actually do it, number 1, number 2 are going to need to get reinforced. Then we will come over here. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So this last wall corner here, I would either reinforce it or just try to open it up as much as possible, because people could try to sneak in through here. Beware that you do have a hatch above you as well. And you can already kind of see the problem with this site. There are just way too many walls that can be exposed and opened up. So you could use your last reinforcements in here. It could lead to an easier bathroom plant if all 3 are reinforced, or you can reopen all these walls and actually play in workshop itself. And then for this wall itself, I've seen either way done with it. I've seen it reinforced and I've seen it open. If it's open, you do have a nice line of sight in here to kind of prevent any kind of plant, either from a thermite charge coming through the wall or people trying to run through the window. So be careful of that, and let's head upstairs. Alright, so now that we're on the 2nd floor, we're going to come straight in over to this room, and you can see the hatch that sits above B. Now this hatch can be reinforced, but I would recommend leaving it alone and using the reinforcement elsewhere. But one thing I would recommend is having a couple roamers opening up the floors above A and B and playing upstairs. As you can see, this nice little spot right here, you can kind of watch this wall and this window in case someone tries to plant behind that, like, I believe it's a filing cabinet over there. You don't have the greatest angle on the window, but at least it's something. But you guys can really see the problem with this site and defense. It's very hard. If you get it in quick play, I feel sorry for you guys, but if you play in ranked, I would recommend wholeheartedly to avoid this site. But that's it for this site, and I believe we are done with all the sites now. Alright, so that's it for my border defense video, guys. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you want to see something different in future videos, please let me know. I'm doing these for you guys. And I will be doing the ranked maps first in that playlist, and then we'll be taking a look at the rest of the maps. But I'm doing this because I want you guys to know where you need to reinforce and why you're reinforcing these walls. I do notice that in lower ranks, people don't understand why the need is to reinforce walls, so sometimes they just don't do it all together. So hopefully that helps you guys out, and I will see you guys in the next video.